Hey, good evening everyone. My name is Christopher and I'm going to be showing you how to make a graph with two y-axes on it. I am currently using a Macintosh operating system right now. I have the Lion operating system. However, all these techniques will be able to work with a Windows-based operating system as well, under very similar circumstances. So to get started, I have a data set. When you use two y-axes, it's basically to compare two or more variables. Right now we're going to be looking at vehicle miles traveled in billions, and we're going to be comparing that to the carbon monoxide emissions over a 5-year period here. So what we're going to do is we're going to first off go ahead and create our scatter graph, whichever one works for you. I don't believe it makes any difference. It just depends on what look you're trying to go for. Right here, so our vehicle miles traveled in billions is going to be our top number. Of course, in blue, color coded, and all these numbers on the left-hand side on the y-axis are going to correspond to this data set. The numbers on the bottom here are our carbon monoxide emissions. So we're going to go ahead and select those points, or select a point, right-click on it, and then go ahead and select Format Data Series. Now, when our pop-up window comes up, we're going to get various options on our left-hand side. Right here under Axis, we have the plot series on primary or secondary axis. Currently, it's on primary axis. We want to go ahead and select secondary axis. It's going to change the graph a little bit, as you can tell here on the bottom. You're going to have, of course, your secondary y-axis on your right-hand side with a bunch of different numbers. And so again, I'll just show you very briefly. Primary axis, and you can look at the graph on the below, and then you have your secondary axis. So it does change substantially. We're going to select OK, and for the most part, right now, bare bones, this is going to be the graph. We can obviously play with the titles and label our axes to make it more a little aesthetically pleasing. However, we can see right now that our carbon monoxide emissions are on a decline over this 10-year period, and we can see very clearly that the miles traveled had increased and up until about 2008 or so, and then they have decreased since then. And so you can kind of see the differences, and that that's what this right hand or secondary y-axis is very beneficial in displaying. So we have this. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete this for now, and bring in our secondary, or our second emissions, I guess our pollution emissions, just so we can see how we can compare three variables in under one graph. So all I'm going to do is just bring this in a little bit tighter, select all of our data points, go ahead and plot them on a graph, and then again using the same method as before, we're going to go ahead and select one set, Format Data Series. Going to be applying this on a secondary axis. We're going to select OK. You can already see the graph has already begun to change. Same thing with this secondary, or this third set of data. Secondary axis again, and then hit select OK. And there we have we have the vehicle miles traveled in billions compared to our second variable, which is going to be the emissions over a course of time. Here, particularly, it's going to be over 10 years. And so there you have it. Again, you can play with this a little bit, make it a little bit fancier, change colors, change axes, titles, and of course, all these commands will be able to be transferable over into Windows as well. So thank you all very much for your time.